What if somebody made a movie about all the most beautiful people in the world wearing fashionable clothing, going to gorgeous locations, and doing cool things? I know there are lots of movies like that, but aren't those movies pretty sweet? Anna's one of those. What it is not is an action movie. There are only 2 action scenes, and the first is shown in almost its entirety in the trailer. Is it a solid enough spy thriller to make up for the misleading advertisements, or is it a letdown? Anna follows Anna, I can tell you're shocked, a Cold War-era supermodel turned KGB agent. Or is she a Cold War-era KGB agent turned supermodel? The movie is told out of chronological order and is structured in a way that some events will be told linearly, a really shocking thing will happen, and then we'll cut back to the middle of the last line of events, revealing a gap we didn't know about where some important twists and turns happened that completely recontextualize everything that happened after. The movie will go forward from there, jump back a bit, go forward, jump back a bit, that kind of thing. I don't know if this is the only trick that keeps the plot interesting, but it works fine. Anyway, the story sees Anna go from an awful poor life to being a tough-as-nails death machine for the KGB, to revealing that she doesn't have any allegiances except to herself, only wanting to be free from her responsibilities as a spy. Luke Evans and Cillian Murphy do well as high-ranking KGB and CIA officials, while Sasha Luce is excellent as Anna. She has to keep a cold exterior on most of the time, but shows some intense emotions that prove she's not just underacting in the rest of the scenes. Helen Mirren steals the movie though as Olga, a seasoned KGB agent whose backstory is more interesting than most entire movies. The action is, well, mostly not there. Many of the scenes you see in the trailer that look like fragments of action scenes are actually assassination scenes shown in their entirety, part of a montage of Anna walking into a room and headshotting 1 or 2 people at a time. The scene in the trailer of her practicing boxing isn't even part of her KGB training. It's one of the photo shoots she does in her modeling career. Of the 2 action scenes we do get, the first is outstanding. It sees Anna attempt to assassinate a guy in a restaurant, only to end up fighting a bunch of his bodyguards. Tables and dishware are destroyed, weapons are improvised from random objects, and there's a whole lot of blood. It combines the MMA takedowns and quick-draw gun action of a John Wick movie with the impractical but stylish gun action of less realistic action films. Anna holds her gun sideways, dual wields, and other wrong things like that, but it's all brutal and seemingly strategic enough that it never feels like you're watching an exaggerated gun-fu movie. The second action scene is mostly gun-focused with some fighting. It's not as good as the first, but it's fine. Anna combines a 3 weeks earlier style storytelling gimmick with a little bit of good action and a few good characters. I can only recommend it to fans of spy movies, or possibly people into the modeling industry, since the movie feels like a harsh commentary on that business. And honestly, Atomic Blonde was very similar and much better, but Anna's still a slick, cool film that's worth a watch. Thanks for listening.